start a business with your business of 1, then you've got to become business of 2, and 3, 4, and 5. I reckon going from that sort of 7 to 8 person, because everyone knows everything and you don't really need to have any formal stand-ups and that sort of stuff. That's probably the coolest time of business. Going from then that sort of weird phase, which is 15 to 20 to 20, you get into that thing where not everyone's talking to each other during the day. You can get sort of some groups are forming. There's some guys who've been there from the start. They think they're the originals, and some people new here, they create their own group because other newbies who started last week. Key thing is you got to help the integration. I think you can't just let it formulate. Sometimes you've got to be a bit like the person at the party who gets 2 people to talk. You play matchmaking. Oh, come on, you come and talk to this person over here, and you stay there for 2 minutes and get it going, and you go. Because it's almost a little bit. You think of something like neighbourly. It's that once people start talking, they'll continue to talk. I think if you're honest with yourself, you can always see the crisis happening, and you can always see it. It's like sort of driving slowly off a cliff. So you've got a period of time to try and do different things for it. Sometimes, no matter what you try, I look back at my window thing. I thought I solved one problem, but then another problem, and a big problem, and I had sort of 3 streams of problems coming at me. And once I got to the third one, I was like, I actually can't get out of this. But then you have other problems, like even yesterday, pretty tough day, but you see it coming, so you can turn it. I think it's almost like you're looking about staff and that sort of thing. Sometimes you need to manage staff in various different ways, and you can see it already happening. And if you say you can't, it's probably being dishonest. Probably design house, my first one. I was 19. I look back now, and I was talking to one of the guys here, and he was 22. And I said to him, I was employing 40 people when I was your age, and I look how young I was and doing all these things with different people and that sort of stuff. And I just think some of the shit you did when you're 23, going broke when that has, and I look at it now, and I've got cousins now who become 23, and you employ people at 23, and you go, man, I was going broke standing in front of all these creditors, having to tell these staff about things. So to be able to go from there and get through it, and also then get through it and actually use it to an advantage, not just get destroyed by it. And you really had 2 choices of that. Let it destroy you for the rest of your life, or just get up and get moving again. So there's going to be lots of ideas. You look at something like Facebook as reasonably. People talk about the battles between Google and Facebook and all this sort of stuff, but ultimately, in the day, they're all carving off their own niches in a world scale, and the world's a big place. So I don't think there's any one giant idea that sort of just changes things. And me down here, I'll just keep sort of finding little things I think I can bring down and hopefully roll out on a case-by-case basis. Well, I think you can always have a couple of things you look back and you might try and regret, but I've tried to live a life of saying I don't want to regret anything, because then you sort of look back and it kills you. Yeah. There's probably a couple of businesses I wish I'd probably set up slightly differently at the start, and a couple of things you might have said, I should have probably done this during the way, but ultimately it is what it is, and you either sort of, if you don't forget about it, you basically don't sleep at night because you're always thinking about it.